Alright, and so here we are with the Battle of Endor.
Preparing to enter hyperspace.
Second to last mission, and we'll be just going with the X-Wing since all the other ships aren't unlocked for this, since we'll have to beat the level to do that. And if you saw in some of the replays I did, there were some other ships that were unlocked since you do unlock them as you progress through the story, but I've been sticking to using the default craft throughout the game, so that's just my own choice. I almost did do that with the raid on Bespin just because of the A-Wing's poor shielding, but nope, I just stuck with it.
Admiral, we're in position. All fighters are accounted for.
Proceed with the countdown. All groups assume attack coordinates.
Don't worry, my friend's down there. He'll have that shield down in time. But this'll be the shortest offensive of all time.
All craft, prepare to jump into hyperspace on my mark.
All right, stand by.
May the Force be with us.
All squadrons, follow me.
Now in this case, you can follow what they did in Episode 6 where they did try to go out, or did follow go out to the Death Star, though. We already know where to go, unless you haven't seen Star Wars Episode 6 yet, then, well then,
Break off the attack.
I don't know what to tell you.
All craft, pull up.
Take evasive action. Green group, stick close to holding sector MB7.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 27.
It's a trap.
Now, this is a battle I would really like to see have a remake, as well as this whole game in general. Just the case of, being able to make the battle more open, have loads more in terms of ship combat.
Watch out, interceptors coming in.
But
Accelerate to attack speed. Draw the fire.
we only have EA making these games now, so
Copy, Gold Leader.
everything rests entirely on them.
Red Leader.
That and, well, Factor 5 who made Rogue Squadron, they're not even
Too many of them.
around anymore, so.
They're heading for the medical frigate.
Red Leader, we're under attack!
Now in this case, the first half of this game, or this mission, you're focusing entirely on protecting the medical frigate. And that's because it has barely any kind of defenses on it, because it's more of a ship-to-ship vessel. But in this case, you're going to want to hover around them, just shoot off some of these TIE fighters and TIE interceptors. Every once in a while, you may lose a ship or two, because usually this transport sometimes gets destroyed by the TIE interceptors, though. Usually if the Rebel fleet's holding off well, you'll be fine. More so, it's just if you let the medical frigate get destroyed, then it's a game over.
Orders, Red Leader. Watch out, squad at point .06.
As for now, I'm just keeping them in formation, but I'm going to send them off to the TIE fighters.
Aim for the fighter.
Now, there is a way, though, if you do happen to get followed by TIE fighters, which does happen often in this, you can fly by Home 1 to get them off, since the TIE fighters usually won't bother you if you're near Home 1 for some reason. As for this, and granted, the TIE fighters themselves aren't even a big problem. It's what's going to be coming after this, which will be the issue.
Must hurry.
And normally this part is where you may lose your first life, just because the TIE fighters really overwhelm you in this.
Orders, Red Leader.
And like as I said earlier about the whole rule with fighting, shooting off the outside TIE fighters and then attacking the middle first, you're gonna have some trouble doing that, so just shoot whatever you can. And still no sign yet.
We've got to take out those bombers.
It is still interesting that they brought transports with them after, as a part of this this offensive, considering. And there we go. The TIE bombers. These are the one things you really want to go after because, you know, it doesn't take too long before they're able to destroy the medical frigate. But usually, as long as you're hanging around near the medical frigate, you should be all right. Now you can use your proton torpedoes to shoot them down. You know, like kind of like in a more traditional, you know, flight sim kind of combat, something like Ace Combat or so. Only thing is that because your proton torpedoes don't recharge, and since you're carrying so few of them, it's pretty much redundant to use them. I mean, you only really need proton torpedoes for when you're taking out Star Destroyers later.
Orders, Red Leader.
You know, and TIE bombers aren't really that hard to get. It's more so just, you know, once again, you know, keeping all these fighters off of you. And yes, you will want to use your targeting computer just because everything blends in with these backgrounds, especially with these TIE fighters.
Orders, Red Leader. Got it.
Now there are multiple ships that you can choose for this mission later on, you know, if you want to play as like the A-Wing, Y-Wing, B-Wing, whatsoever. Usually I think the hardest is playing either as the... I would say the hardest is definitely the A-Wing just because of its lack of shields and that it's entirely speed dependent. But, the Y-Wing is actually not too bad either. I mean, it's fairly easy just because of its, capabilities with ion cannons and that you can use proton bombs, which are actually very effective, except for if you're flying underneath, because I do think they still fall towards the ground even when you're out here in space, because for some reason, like, well, they're actually, these TIE bombers are actually firing missiles and not bombs. But
One more to go.
there we go. This should be the last one.
All right, that's the last of them.
Only the fighters are attacking. I want... That blast came from the Death Star. That thing's operational. Home 1, this is Gold Leader.
We saw it. All craft, prepare to retreat.
You won't get another chance at this, Admiral.
We have no choice, General Calrissian. Our cruisers can't repel Fart Magnet.
Yes, I said closer. Move as close as you
Right
can.
here, we're taking down the Star Destroyer, so, you know, getting back to what I was saying, you know, the Y-Wing, I'd say it's a tad bit easier. Only thing though is that you're going to be pretty much overrun by TIE fighters just because of the Y-Wing being a lot slower and that it's a tad bit harder for it to, you know, outmaneuver TIE fighters. A-Wing is no problem, it's just that it gets shot down easily. B-Wing is also a bit average, though it does come nice. It's pretty much nice with the large amount of proton torpedoes, the ion cannon, and the lasers. And it's really, I think the B-Wing actually in this game is somewhat considered a tad bit better than the X-Wing. You know, I think the only problem with the B-Wing though is that its turning sucks. And the X-Wing in general is fairly just, not so much standard, but just like the regular. Oh, and actually, I'm going to send them after the guns, that way they're at least near the Star Destroyers. Now this you can either link or just hold down and you just shoot in general. I mean, X-Wing has really good, pretty good lasers for it, so you don't have to worry about using proton torpedoes or whatsoever. And thankfully, these Star Destroyers are nowhere near as difficult as the one in Razor Rendezvous. So you'll be perfectly fine just as long as you keep, you know, As long as you destroy these before they destroy Home 1, which one good way the turbo laser, so you won't have to worry about Home 1 getting destroyed. Actually. Alright, and I lost my R2 unit, so now I can't repair. And that's one thing about Star Destroyers, it's usually best to attack from a distance, but in my case, since I'm probably bound to die soon.
The fighters from Home 1.
Nope, couldn't travel fast enough to get out the shield underneath.
Go after the guns.
On my way, Red Leader.
And that's one thing though that can be a tad bit annoying with the proton torpedoes, is that because now they have a lock on, you have to press the B button twice to fire the proton torpedo. Oh shit, I didn't even know that was destroyed already. Well, that just turned my luck upside down. Yeah, there's one thing that I don't like about myself playing these games, is that I can be a tad bit reckless. And that's kind of how I die so fast.
Copy that, Red Leader.
Now I'm out of proton torpedo, so I'm pretty much doing this. And normally when I play Battle of Endor, I actually do use the B-Wing more. Just because of its, like, what it comes with weapon-wise. Shit. And I really got myself into a pickle with this one.
Red Leader, where are you? We can't take much more. Let's close it up. Copy, Red Leader.
I'm gonna try to get him to form up with me, see how it goes from there. Shit. Oh, shit. Really?
The shields are down. Take out the bridge.
Alright, so back at this again, trying to knock out those bridges. It's been pretty interesting so far, because I've died in many embarrassing ways. That and a lot of bullshit ways too. Right now I'm not even trying to use the aiming, because it'll just keep going up against one of the top cannons rather than the actual command deck. There we go. Now once you destroy the Star Destroyers, get out of their way, because once those things move, they'll slam right in your ship and you'll be gone.
Interceptors at point 95.
Like that. They'll be crashing towards the planet. And in this case, I only have one left, but I'm going to try to just fire off a random direction, see hopefully it'll hit it.
Orders, Red Leader. Red Leader, where are you? We can't take much more.
And I missed on that one, so. Luckily I have an extra life, so just in case my shields get too low, I'm just going to have to just fly straight into the command deck. Yeah, I had to do it anyways, but at least it's down. And now he just watches these things crash into the planet, and pretty much
Keep on those fighters.
they're all set.
I'm on it, Red Leader.
Now we can move on to the last mission. Here we can just take out a few ties, or if you want to go after the Star Destroyers, though. I believe there's an upgrade somewhere around here. I think it's
The shield is down.
somewhere around here, but I'm not going to go after it. I just want to get this level done and over with.
We're on our way. Red group, gold group, all fighters follow me. I told you they'd do it.
Alright, so with that ugly mess out of the way, that's it for the Battle of Endor. We'll see you next time with the last episode, which will be Strike at the Core. Pretty much the hardest mission in the whole game. So with that, see you next time.